Well, hello, and welcome back to the return of the Obra Dinn here on Buto Plays Whatever. In a previous episode, we had finally wrapped up all the different, all the different chapters, except for, of course, the bargain, and whatever happens past the end, because that doesn't happen until we get off boat. Now, I did a little bit of research on it. I didn't want to ruin anything for me, but apparently once you leave the ship, you leave the ship. And that's just the way it is. Nothing was ruined for me, thank God. But yeah, once you leave the ship, you leave the ship. And that's just the way that it is. And it's a little bit discouraging. Now, I've decided to break this up into two parts as far as going forward with this. That's a tail, right? Yeah, that's a tail. The first part, we're going to go through all the deaths. All right. Basically, hole by hole. So if we take a look, go ahead, give me a cue. Give me the ship. So we're going to start down the bottom here, down the cargo hold. We're going to take a look at all the decks here, and then we're going to go up to the orlop deck, and then we're going to head on up to the gun deck, and we're going to explore all the decks just side by side, once through, okay? And then try to identify the cause of death, and if we can, identify people as much as we can. I'm going to call this the discovery phase, basically, which is a court term for gathering all your information and all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to we're going to redo it one more time after that, to place all the people that we've been able to find, like who we've determined who is, and then place them to who killed who, because the first one's just discovering who is possibly who, and maybe leading to some deaths and stuff like that. But it's going to take two go-throughs, I think, to properly place everybody where they need to go. And even still then, I don't know if we're going to get it quite right. But hopefully during this discovery phase, we can kind of locate who's who and who's been where. Is my hope. It is my solemn hope that we're able to do this. Like this guy right here. It's like, he's the cook. We label him the cook. He was struck by a tail, right? He was struck. I mean, that's a tail, right? I mean, it's not, or would you call that hooves? I mean, it's a tail. And he died that way. And that's the way the man died. So if we come back over here, though, and head on over to the crew and go into the crew manifest. So, as far as people, we got the carpenter and the carpenter's mate. And he's speared by the beast. Mr. Marcus Gibbs. Now, I'd have to go back over to see, but it's like there's two people that we have kind of marked on down. Clubbed by an enemy. So we got two people that have been identified, and we don't know quite if they're correct or not, which is a little bit, it's a little crappy, okay? And then, of course, we have another couple people. We just haven't been able to identify them just yet. Now, along my search, I was given some tips, quote-unquote tips, and it's just like general stuff that I already kind of knew. It's like, hey, listen to dialects and all these kind of other things. And I'm like, yeah, of course you listen to dialects. And I think we'll have to kind of re-listen to a couple of these, because if you take a look here, I got one Scottish guy. I got one Ireland guy right there. And I got two Scottish gentlemen. And I got a Poland guy. I already have the butcher, who is Irish as well. So I don't think there's actually too many of those guys here. And that's really going to help to identify some of these different people. And we got Russians, Wales, India, England, Ireland. So there's another Irish guy. So not too many Irish guys. So that really kind of narrows the field on down quite a bit. But we need to start the search and try to identify clues. I mean, as best as we can in these various spots. Now, I don't see anybody else over here. That doesn't mean anything. So let's see if we can't get top deck and see what was kind of going on over here. I think we might have taken a look. Yeah, we saw some things. and some other things. And I forget who was the diet. Yeah, we had these 2 deaths over here. And of course, we're gonna have to fall to, go, you know, trailing down the rabbit hole of each one of these things. So again, so let's go ahead and take a looky look. Let's see what we got.
Lift this out and take it below.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
这是虾米？回来，全部供出来。
拢是恁害啦！迄个害得较电无过好，是啥人温死的啊
He talk about a shell. Very dangerous.
Shell? What shell?
The shell. So this was the first part of just the total anarchy that broke on out. So this guy was spiked by a terrible beast. Right, we've come to conclusions with that. I don't know how these other two, like, I don't know how these two did it. Like, we saw him die, but we haven't been able to fully identify who it was that killed them. Now, these were the other 3 bodies that led us, of course, down below. Now, this was... Well, this should have been the doctor. I mean, he's carrying the doctor's bag. Will you tell me you're not the doc? You are... Well, who else was left? I mean, we got the surgeon, we got the surgeon's mate. Who else would be carrying that stuff? Tough call. I don't know. So did anybody else die over here? Let's take a look. I mean, I don't see any other deaths except for those 3. You got these guys kind of pushing everything on around over here. This guy's dodging some blows. So was this guy struck too? So is that... That's a spike. We've established spikes. Whew. So you. He was spiked by a terrible beast. We just don't have any... We have a name for this guy though, but it just... Apparently maybe it's not the right guy. I mean, it's either... I was pretty sure this is it being... I was pretty sure she said that was Bang. But maybe we have these reversed. But I don't remember that guy being on the boat. So it's a tough call. So, of course, these were the 3 dead bodies that came off the boat. Let's take a look at Miss Lynn. Here. Again.
What did you are? Good dancing.
So there's the magic conch. Miss Lim is already dead at this moment. And she's been tied up. Now, I don't know what exactly killed her in this instance. You know what I'm saying? I don't know exactly what killed a lot of these people. Like, this guy was speared. So, has that been marked on here? Speared by enemy. Okay, so that one's been marked. This guy was also apparently speared as well. I mean, I can't jump in the damn boat. It's like I'd really just like to jump in the boat. But it appears a nice spear came from the side over here. It's not really showing. I think we marked this guy as speared though. So he was speared. Speared. By I don't know if you call these guys enemies or beast. I mean, I guess we'll go with enemy, which might be some of the problems with what's going on. And this, of course, is Mr. Edward Nichols. Then who do we have here? Okay, we got one of the seamen who was speared by the enemy. Okay, so we are just locating them as enemy. Now we could go deeper down this rabbit hole. I mean, there's 3 bodies to explore here. Now if I exit this, where does that send me to? Okay. Let's go deeper down this rabbit hole for this time being. Back to the original part of the calling, so the first part of it.
Keep course due east. You'll reach the Canaries in 3 days. You packed enough stores?
Aye, sir. Checked and loaded them myself.
Good. Stay quiet and alert. If the wind picks up, we've no chance against the Obra Dinn.
休假，你玩抓不？
我冇问题，但是伊来想啊，绝对袂当互伊落去水底。
那是遐个怪物出现，你绝对卖起来。
Aye, shut it up.
They say strange things about monsters.
Oh, he shut it up. So the one guy's Irish. Now who's he yelling at? Is this one? Okay. Is he the one that's yelling? So if we take a look, he's probably this guy. I mean, if we take a look, he's Irish. Or he's Samuel Gilligan. What's he look like? I mean, does he seem more of a Patrick O'Hagan, or is he a Samuel Gilligan? And then of course we had. I thought there was one more. He's not the purser, so we can rule that on out. Since he's out there with everybody, I'd almost feel like he's Patrick O'Hagan. But then again, maybe he is not. And it's like, are these people beasts or are these people enemies? Miss Lim. And there wasn't any more bodies in this scene. So it's like, are these people being killed by beasts or are these enemies? I mean, they just seem like enemies to me. I mean, beasts, like I'm saving for the crabs that those guys rolled on. Oh, and it takes us all the way back out over here. That's cute.
Keep pressure here.
Hold him down. What madness is this? 20 years my steward, and never a doubt on your sanity. Explain yourself.
Those ungodly beasts carry a curse. Throw them back or doom us all.
Tie him up and put him in the lazarette with those things. He may yet find his senses.
Come on. All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think. Where's the rest of his leg?
Now, give me a tab. What did this guy say? Ira Darar. What is that? I'm actually going to Google that. Give me a language. Ira Darar. From Swedish. into English. So Swedish. Was what this guy was saying? The surgeon's mate. But if that's Swedish, you fools. So he might not have been James Wallace. 20 years my steward. How many other Swedish people do we got? Wow. Swedish. So, he's Mr. Philip Dahl. He's the captain's steward. 20 years my steward. So, okay. So that other guy that was up top was the other... Was that you that was up there? No, you're the surgeon. Okay. Interesting. Okay, well that helps on out. Helps out a little bit. So we're left with this, left with that. Very interesting. Okay. And we'll just kind of see what befalls that man after all is said and done. I'm pretty sure this guy's the steward, is the purser. We've seen him quite a few times. And I think, yeah, this is the next body that led us back up top. Yeah, just go ahead and skip ahead. Unholy captives. Now this, of course, has always been on the question to me. This guy right here. He's the seaman, Mr. William Watson. We have confirmed this. Was he clubbed or not? I mean, it could be struck, but none of these things make any sense. I mean, we could go crushed. Would you go with the beast on that? Yes! Damn right. So, Mr. William Watson. Gentile. And Thomas Sefton. Okay. All right. Where are we at here? Thomas Sefton. Okay. And then William Watson. And then who was that last guy? Okay, it was Chin. Was it Chin Tong? Give me my book. Who was the last guy? The crew. Struck tail. Okay, it's Thomas Sefton. Crushed. Nice. Spiked. Chiotan. So number 25. Okay, so where's Chiotan? Okay, good. Was spiked by a terrible beast. So these guys are terrible beast. They're not an enemy, they are terrible beast. Okay, this has been established. Freaking A. It's like, what the hell are these things? They're terrible beasts. God damn it, man. That makes me feel better. Okay, so 3 more down. And then we identified this guy, these possible 2 guys in here based on what they were doing. I feel comfortable spiked by a terrible beast. Now, if he's the carpenter, we're assuming this is the carpenter's mate. But then again, he might be the carpenter. And when we say speared, it may not be. It could be just the enemy that speared him. But this might not be Mr. Marcus Gibbs. This might be Mr. Marcus Gibbs. I mean, he might as well be. He could be Mr. Winston Smith. And this fine gentleman. No. He might be Winston Smith. And this guy could be Mr. Marcus Gibbs. For all I know. I don't know. These two are kind of up in the air. Okay, so let's head back up top. I can't go up top just yet. I have to wait until I identify. Where was that body at? Damn it, man. How did I get back up top? Wasn't there another body somewhere lying around here or something that led me up top? No, I had to walk out. No, well, apparently no, I didn't. Okay, get me back in here.
Keep pressure here.
Knock him down.
Yeah.
What madness is this?
So we were here, and then that led us to
And never a doubt on your sanity.
the next part. Now this guy came out of there, but I think we've already kind of identified him. Yeah, the bassoon. We just don't know what killed him just yet. And that's led us over here, which led us to this guy's skull getting cracked on in right there. But wasn't there another body we were looking on at? Isn't that what we got?
All's fine, John. Been in worse spots, I think.
How the hell did we get up top?
The rest of the day.
Okay, yeah. Teleport me. Yeah, because he died there. Were we able to get up top? How the hell did we get up top? Okay, it was over here. You go ahead. Well, who the hell was it? Okay, it was that guy. Alright, but say, get me back up top.
Clear the deck. Move the boat to stern and throw the bodies over.
What's your foot in?
Hey there, what's this? Give him to me and I can fry us a solid meal, boys.
Careful now. Take it slow.
One tick, gentlemen.
One tick,
Yes,
gentlemen.
British Shelley, eh? Let's have a look.
Yeah.
No.
And that's what killed him. Okay, we've established this. So we've done. Now if we started one with the one on the left, so this guy was the guy down below, the doctor, right? The surgeon. This must be the surgeon's mate. We've seen him before. So this is the surgeon's mate. Because he was identifying the other bodies on over in the next phase, which was brought about by his death. Is when we got to look at them. Check, which one did we track? Who are you? Oh, this is this one guy, man. He's the key to everything. He's the key to everything. But we have more bodies to deal with this guy. Let's go ahead and jump back into that story real quick. Oh, is it just both of these? Okay, that works.
Lift this out and take it below.
What the hell is going on? What do you know about these things? About the chest and your dead friends?
这是什么？
Exactly.
全部供出来。恭喜你开了。
So yeah, that's the surgeon's mate. Okay. And we started off with Mrs. Lim.
Shell? What shell?
Oh, so he died. Mr. Paul Davies, Edward Nichols. Wait a second.
Ahoy!
Hell back! Get the captain!
Ahoy!
Cover's aboard!
Wait! Don't shoot! I have treasure! I yield!
Hold your fire!
Oh, Mr. Tan. Okay. Wait. Ah, darn it. Mr. Tan shot him. Well, he was not happy about that, was he? So Mr... He was 25, right? Mr. Tan. Ha 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 ha! So Mr. Edward Nichols. Got you. Mr. Marcus Gibbs. Oh, so it was back and forth. And Winston Smith. Winston Smith? Marcus Gibbs. Perfect. 15 down, baby. So it was the reverse of those two guys. Nice. Nice. So what else can we identify while we're over here? That's Mrs. Lim's body. Since we're here, let's go ahead and see if we can't figure out what exactly killed Mrs. Lim. So she's dead at this point. Now this guy was... We have this. Speared by the enemy. But it's not a foreign enemy. It's a terrible beast. Mrs. Lim, though. I mean, she's got a lot of blood. Does this thing have anything in hand? I mean, it looks like she was straight clawed. Clawed. Yeah. Clawed by a terrible beast. So, we can either go that route. And who was this? This was this guy. He was speared by the beast. We don't know who he is yet. We know what company he resides on in. We've already gone down the path of possibly Mr. O'Hagan, but we don't know for certain if that's him. We know that that guy's Irish. You know, it's a big assumption. Let's go ahead and check this one before we end this episode.
Keep rowing!
Where is it? There! Something there!
I see it!
Give us a weapon! Shoot! My kid eye!
Pick up the oars and row, you fools!
Pick up the oars and roll, you fools. So this guy was more than likely drowned. I mean, his body was never discovered by a terrible beast. This is, this is what we have to believe. This is what we have to believe. This guy was speared by the beast. These guys are considered terrible beasts. We've established this. And this guy was speared by the beast. And Slim is still alive at this point in time. And I believe that's as far down this rabbit hole as we can go besides this guy right here. Not really seeing any connections. It's back to the part 1.
Keep course due east. You'll reach the Canaries in
3 days, yeah.
You packed enough stores?
Aye, sir. Checked and loaded them myself.
Good. Stay quiet and alert. If the wind picks up, we've no chance against the Obra Dinn.
Hi, sir.
冇問題，但是伊嚟想啊，絕對袂當互伊落去水底。
Aye, shut it up.
This is straight from monsters.
Yeah, so I feel like he's Patrick O'Hagan. I mean, the only other guy, I mean, he could be the second mate. Because if he's there and he's leading the other boat, he would be of some sort of power? No, he's not by an enemy, by a great beast. We've established these are beasts. Because if he's leading the second boat, he's got some sort of power like this guy over here. Okay. Terrible beast. You're terrible beast. You're terrible people. You're terrible half mermaids. Merman, father. Merman. I'm sorry. Let's back down to Holy Captives. We don't need to see this. We can just skip ahead. Let's go back up deck.
Madness is this. 20 years my steward and never a
Take a look at this guy. And this will be the last thing we do is investigate this one last part. As we take a look over here, people are running, scared as hell. Da 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 da. Yeah, just skip on ahead. Skip to Maloo. Back to part 2. I think it just keeps going over and over the same part. Is the way it kind of seems.
Hey there, what's this? Give him to me and I can fry him.
And this leads back to part 1.
Lift this out and take it below.
What the hell is going on?
So we done Miss
Know about
Lim.
these things, about
God
the
darn it,
chest
get out of here,
and
creative
your
Apple
dead
File.
friends.
这是虾米？未来全部供出来，都是你害的。你哋害你肯定冇過。
Let's see what is going on with this guy. I don't recall him being torn apart.
Shell? What shell?
I mean, it looks like he was torn apart by a terrible beast. I don't remember seeing that. Did I miss that? This limb's dead, bro. No, he wasn't. It's like he caught fire. I mean, would it be burnt to death? He doesn't really explain. So what other bodies do we got going on over here? Just missed limb. We're actually missing quite a few. So he was grabbing onto this. And it burned his hand off. Clawed, shot, spiked. Okay. God, is there a way to go back? I would love to go back. Like, just let me go back. I don't want to have to redo all that again. I mean, he touched the magic conch. And it, like, burned his hand off. But again, then again, is that really what killed him? Like, he was in a tussle with one of the other officers. This guy, right here, as a matter of fact. Mr. Edward Nichols. Mr. Edward Nichols. Who was pulling up one of these people. Interesting. I don't know. But that's all the time we got for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, go ahead and leave a like. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. When we come on back, we're going to keep digging on into this in the discovery phase of this thing. 6 more down. That made me feel good. We're making some headway. We're a quarter of the way there. Oh, man. This is really racking my brain. We're going to have to dive into this one more time to take a look at that last scenario. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So until next time, everybody, you take it easy. And I'll see you around. Peace.